My next car at BP was this beautiful Triumph. I was so proud of this car. The real old English type car, which I'd always wanted, new out the box. But wow, was this thing a catastrophe. It had dual carburetors, and I always prided myself that I could sort of balance carburetors, but nobody in town could ever get this car to run properly. Amongst other things, there was one year there was a flood in the Limpopo, and I was there with this car. Don't ask me how I got through places with it. At one stage, there was a little tributary to the Limpopo running into the river, but it was also very full of water. And one of the farm workers was on the far side. It wasn't very big. And I asked him, do the people of the farm go over this river? Yeah, he says, no problem. They take the workers back and forth every day. So I thought, well, if they can do it, surely I can do it. Drove off, and right in the middle, wow, it got deep. And I sat there in a bit of shock, and all of a sudden my feet started rising, and there was the water coming into the car, lifting the carpets. Oh, that was the end of that car. After that, it was never a car. What happened then was when I eventually got them to pull me out with the tractor, I came to realize that they were going through with a 4x4 bakkie and not with a very low Triumph. Another photo of the Triumph. Looking at this now, this was an outing we made to Ingelel Dam, other side Louis Trichardt, and now I wouldn't go there with anything less than a 4x4, but this valiant little Triumph made it there. You can see I was doing something on the engine even there. I see there's like a little dinghy in the front, a little blow-up thing. And I can remember going out in the middle of the night, going rowing on this Ingelel Dam, and I got lost, of course, without not knowing where I am. I had no sense of directions. There were just lights all around the dam. Yeah, stupid things a person does when you're young. And then just looking at the slight change here, the redhead, of course, was with us in that tent there. Now, nothing less than a 4-star hotel, otherwise she doesn't move out of our house. But times change. The company had to replace that old Triumph because it gave so much trouble. It was more in the garage than anything else after the little river story. So they took it back, but they wouldn't give me a new vehicle, and I had to take over this Datsun. I can't remember the name of the Datsun, but it was a real dependable, wonderful old car. I had it for a short while until my turnaround time had come for me to be able to get another vehicle. Then into our lives came this beautiful little car. If I had to choose a car, the best car that I've driven, amongst the many that I have driven, this would vie for top spot. Fuel injection, automatic, wonderful fuel consumption. That whole big front area where the engine would have been in a normal car was all packing space. Back seats went flat, the kids could crawl around and play in the back. It was a real great family car. I've got no idea why they stopped making it. I had this car for a number of years and we had great family times with it. Meantime, those were all company cars. We're still providing Marie with transport. This little car that we bought was one that I have such fond memories of. It's a Metropolitan. I think the body was made by Nash. The engine was made by Austin. I redid this whole car. I did the brakes. I redid the entire engine. I worked on the gearbox. I got the gear lever, lots of things. And we had really wonderful times with it. I remember one thing when I was sleeping in Louis Trichardt, that my job entailed that I had to spend some nights in Louis Trichardt, not far from Klerksdorp, but those days I had to sleep over there. And it used to cost me R6 a night to sleep in the hotel. Marie found me in tears because she'd been caught in a speed trap in Petersburg. I was pretty proud of this, a little Metropolitan being caught in a speed trap. Just a quick correction here. The previous clip I spoke about sleeping over in Louis Trichardt, and it's not far from Klerksdorp. I meant from Petersburg. Right, this one shows where Marie took me with this little Metropolitan all the way down to Jan Smuts, as it was called in those days. And I was going on my very first trip on a Boeing, on a course to Cape Town for BP. And she drove back all by herself. No problems at all with the little kariki. Just have a look at those parking meters. Of course, now that there is all huge parking garages. I wonder if anybody would be able to say where this was actually taken, which part of the airport it was taken at. We went on many wonderful Sunday afternoon drives with the Metropolitan. This particular one was to Hoedspruit. This was at the JG Stadium tunnels. Just looking at this, I recall one other thing. We often used to go to the drive-in called the Jacaranda, where we'd eat Jacaranda specials, real oil baller hamburgers, but we used to love it. And little Mark, who was also small then, would sleep at Marie's feet on the ground while the movie was on the go. At one stage he wouldn't keep quiet, and the movie was interesting, and we said to him, "Keep quiet, Mark." And it was all dead quiet. And then after about 30 or so seconds, this crying started from the bottom, and he was heartbroken. He sobbed. He was so upset that we'd moaned with him. Memories again. Then came the first of many Volkswagen Beetles, a 1500 grey Vauxie. We traded in that wonderful old Metropolitan and bought this car. I got so good at repairing Volkswagens, there was hardly a thing in it I did not know. And little Michael in the front here, at one stage, he just started talking and saying words. And one of the longest sentences he put together at that stage was, "Papa, Mama, Wagen, Eina," when I dropped the engine to repair it for the umpteenth time. There was always something wrong with the clutch. I used to do it all by myself. I had no jacks, no nothing, and I used to be able to take out this engine and let it rest on blocks of wood. I can't remember how I got it back up, but I did it over and over again. Wonderful car, so dependable. When we moved down to De La Revel after this, we all went down in that Vauxie, Marie and myself, and the 3 children, and our 2 dogs, a collie dog and a bulldog. Volkswagen Beetles, they are the cars. And just to add quickly, if Dirk Martens, He-Man, should watch this video thing, as die manne moet braai met hulle braai, we even used to braai in the rain, Mart. Right. This is not a car, but this Bedford truck played quite a big part in our lives. We got to a point where we realized, hey, we're not going to make it financially on the salary I was getting. And I managed to get hold of this Bedford truck, and I used it to put up diesel tanks on the farms for farmers that I'd signed up for BP. Worked very, very hard, often late at night. And the truck itself had this phenomenal thing that it would last for maybe 2 months, and then it would blow a cylinder head gasket. I've still got the tools that I bought, the socket set with British size spanners in, so that I could remove the head, put on the gasket, and be on our way again. Last for another month or 2, and bang, I'd have to replace the cylinder head gasket. I've always thought this is a pretty sexy photo of my wife, and it brings back great memories. We also had a long, amazing trip with a caravan that we rented. I don't know how you do things when you're young. I'd never had a caravan before. I couldn't park the thing, I couldn't reverse with it. But we had a good holiday all in all. I see I even had fishing rods with me. I don't know what I did with them because I've never been able to fish in the sea. But there was another great photo of the redhead, also one that I've always loved. Never quite sure what to do when I look at this photo. We booked a place at this caravan park, which is now the town lodge on Beach Road in Port Elizabeth. And when we got there, it was this terraced caravan park that I had to park the caravan in front of all these experienced caravanners with this car that I'd never done before in my life. You couldn't go back too far because you go tumbling down the terraces, and I went backwards and forwards, getting more and more hot under the collar till eventually I said, right, here we stop. Everybody in the car, we're leaving. This is it. I'll never be able to get this thing in here. Got everybody into the car, slammed the car into gear, pulled away, and by mistake I put it in reverse. And I went, what? And there I parked the caravan 4 square exactly in the area it had to be, in this tiny little parking area in the caravan park. Everybody's mouths fell open, and we spent a good few days having a holiday in Port Elizabeth.